All right, welcome back from that break. We were just talking about the football succession in terms of the conference. The Community Shield is concerned, where Arsenal took over, winning the FA Community Shield, something that will boost their confidence ahead of the season. But Elvis hapa, akasema hiyo kikombe wako nayo peke yake na wanachukua. We are yet to see that. Remember, the league is starting off in a few days. That is on Friday. We're going to talk about that later on. But then again, we are yet to see how they are going to pan out and to perform this season. Kumbuka, all eyes are on the new signings as well, the likes of Timber, the likes of Rice, the likes of Kai Havertz, to try and get the best out of the team. Now let's switch to matters rugby. Happy Nyumbani, that is the National Sevens circuit, where it was held in Nakuru Athletics Club. The Princely Sevens, that's what we are talking about, courtesy of Kabras Sugar, who won the title. Now, Elvis, the first leg, Dallas Sevens, we had KCB taking over, your favorite KCB side taking over. Then the second leg, in the Driftwood Sevens, we had Kabras reclaiming their place in the finals. Then the third leg in Princely, also Kabras or Peter Nayo. Are we seeing a pattern here that we can clearly say that Kabras are favorites to walk away with this year's tournament title? What is your take on that?
I'm expecting KCB.
Yes.
On the first leg,
right,
in Kisumu and then in Mombasa, I thought I'm really shocked.
Right.
I was really expecting KCB to do well and to win. I wasn't really expecting them to win all the Nini, but for now the game is changing, right, and for Kabras we really celebrate them. I think they've learned from KCB and they've watched the game. They are not really getting tired.
Right.
They're just waiting for KCB to really run and get tired a little bit, and then they pick up the game. As you saw,
right,
I think Kabras winning was really due. They've learned their lesson from KCB. Let us congratulate the coach, and also winning this one in Princely, it wasn't that of an achievement, but it is an improvement for them, and it builds their confidence. As we've seen from the history, they really embraced the game,
right,
and Kabras has really woken up. Let us just give them their flowers.
Right.
But I believe KCB will win the entire leg, but KCB winning is not a bad thing, but if they lost, we will accept. KCB, I think this year will come back to the game again, but for now, let us just congratulate Kabras for winning. I think they've really raised the standards and they have really raised the bar. As we can see from now the rugby, it has been good. I was, as a viewer, I was really supporting KCB,
right,
but I really got disappointed. But I'm not really worried, because I don't know how it will pan out from the same circuit. But let us just give them the flowers.
Right.
I think players from Kabras are really showing off strong, and they're aiming to be selected for the national team. Wherever they got stuck, they were very patient, and they knew Nakuru was their land.
right.
So we are just celebrating Kabras.
Okay. Now, of course, Kabras beating Kenya Harlequins 10-5 to manage to win the title, leaves Harlequins who were also at the finals to position 2, because they had to, they got past Menengai Oilers, to reach the final games. Then your favorite KCB, of course, they settled for number 3. But then again, do you believe the fact that when you look at a team like Kabras, when you look at a team like KCB, they have the necessary facilities, for that boost them, especially during the trainings, that really come in handy. And do you believe this is a major factor for that is a success for most teams? Because when you look at other sides where they may not have training facilities, for example, they are not really getting it right as far as the tournament is concerned. But these big boys who have these facilities that help them during their training in preparation, for the games. Do you think it's a major plus for them? And what should be done maybe as far as helping the others?
I believe KCB, they're very, they have a lot of technical facilities.
Right.
Kabras is really helping. I think they've learned from international teams from
Right.
From YouTube. YouTube has really helped them to improve. That is from my own opinion, but I think any organization watching and following rugby can possibly come in handy and chip in and support these other teams and help them to really work hard and really give them the motivation.
Right.
I think they really need to take to have a lot of heavy lifting and doing that training and exercising. I think any company that really can come in handy and really support, it will really benefit the team. They help them train in the gym and they help them wakule vizuri wasikule mchele. Yeah, so that rugby game can really take turn to a positive direction. If they don't really train very heavily and they lift up some few things, I think they should really train with tractors and big tires so that they can gain the muscles and the energy that they need to compete in these games. The training is very essential. They have to eat well and really go to the field and perform. If they train very well, I think it will really come in handy.
Right.
Let them keep the mind in the game and let them partner with other Ministry of Sports and ask for funding so that both KCB and for international competition,
right,
they can select a perfect team from KCB and other teams that they can see they can gel with the players.
Yes.
But for the friendly, let us all support and really come in handy. I think in Nairobi having a selection,
right,
to go to represent Kenya. I think right now Kabras is really coming out strong and they've really shown the game that they can play. The Menengai Oilers lost. For any international arena,
right,
they just have to select from this team that has really been playing well. Menengai Oilers have been playing well since a long time, and we really celebrate them. They've won previously, but for this season we haven't seen them win. But I think Kabras needs more training with Menengai Oilers, and they have a lot of friendly so that they can really beat the teams from Nairobi. And the coach must really work hard. He doesn't have to be lazy. He doesn't really need to be comfortable. He has to put a lot of strict measures and strict rules,
yes,
so that these players can be really up to par with the game. I think coming into the basketball, I think they should really learn from this and also train well and being given facilities to train and learn from rugby. But matter funding, partnership will come in handy, and other organizations that are watching that are following, please just support so that we can see the competition that is really needed. For KCB, I'm really good, but I'm feeling in the long run it will really change to the best.
All right, the next stop.
Thank
you so much for that. The next stop is at Hapa Nairobi, the RFUEA grounds along Ngong Road, Pale. Of course, for the Christie Sevens here in Nairobi. Are we going to see a resurgence of the Kabras Sugar performance, where while it dominate in the Driftwood Sevens, the Prince Louis Sevens. They're the new champions. Now in the Christie Sevens, this is a chance for the likes of KCB to try and reclaim their top spot, as well as the current national champions, that is the Menengai Oilers, who are seemingly missing out the action. Remember the last time they were in the finals of this year's legs. I think it was in the first leg, but then again KCB managed to beat them to win the Dallas Sevens. Then in the second leg they were not to be seen, because it was now Kabras Sugar getting past KCB, I believe. And then this time around it was Kabras getting past Harlequins to win the Prince Louis Sevens. Now all roads come to Nairobi for the Christie Sevens. Not Tabeba this time. I'm bado ni KCB your favorites.
Right. I'm really focusing on my favorite team, KCB. But in my own opinion, I think other teams are really coming up, and I'm really celebrating them. I'm not really championing for KCB, but it's my favorite team.
After Nairobi, I think the focus will shift to Eldoret for the TSAP Sevens, and I will be keeping an eye on Nairobi first before we switch stances to the TSAP Sevens. Now, that will, rugby aside, Elvis, tumalizie na before we get to the EPL kidogo, the school nationals that is happening from tomorrow at Kakamega County. Now, many are wondering why. Of course, why the national schools are pulling such massive crowds. By the way, when you see many people are watching the youngsters coming there, watching the raw talent being displayed in the tournament. Tuliona vile at the county levels, at the regional levels as well, the way they did really well. Now, in your own opinion, the significance of these games, of course we have the developing, raw talent, the youth generally, but then again, in your own perspective, what should the government learn in terms of tapping this viewership? Because it is funny that the national games are happening, tunaona a lot of crowds, a lot of people coming to watch, but when the KPL will be starting, when the National Super League will be starting, what watakuwa kwa stadiums? Unadhani what the lesson, the government should be learning something here, and how should this be generated to some income money to better the sports in general?
Okay. Thank you very much for that question. My own opinion, it's coming from a point that government has to support this.
Right.
Probably government officials have their sons there in national high schools, so that is why they are pulling a lot of crowd. But for these Kogalo and all these KPL, the government doesn't really pull in the mass school. But for the high school, I'm supporting my home area, people from my home area. I love football, and they love football too, because they're really playing in the uncles, the aunties, the people who are locally there. They're coming to support their kids. In KPL, people are really skeptical about joining the stadium, because violence, tumeona violence ikirapture huko hivi, mawe zinarushwa. So I think people have learned from that, and they're like just watching from home. This is a raw talent for high schools,
right,
and it's really panning out good for provision.
Right.
I think the winners, they're just watching the football from the high schools,
right,
and then probably they'll take them to join KPL,
yes,
and NFL. For Football Federation, they're just there watching and hearing from the high schools, from the Kakamega and Kisumu Stars and Kisumu Day,
right,
so that they can pick in the talent, and probably in future, for any company, any low team that they really want to start, they'll actually take the low talent from the high schools. I know it's hard, but they have to pull it through.
yes.
High schoolers, Bill wewe pia ulisikia football from high school,
right,
and you generated an interest from high school. So I think the federation, the FKF, they are really watching and hearing who will be who will be the famous person from all these sports from high school,
Right.
and then probably they will really advocate and take in that player to join a bigger team. It will be helpful to probably join a Gor Mahia or AFC or Nzoia Sugar. So it's a talent generating stadium. For this week, it will help the youth to generate a star. High school is very important because there is raw talent there. Many people are very interested. They're interested in football, athletics, basketball, but I think football has really generated some top talents. So the government need to learn and fund this ministry so that it can really generate some talent and support these high schoolers so that they can make a living from their talent. The government can recognize schools and support the schools because hapo ndo kuna watoto wao, their sons, their daughters are there. So the government need to focus more. The focus from KPL has been left to the federation, but and the Ministry of Sports. But coming to the high school sports, if the government put in the funding, it will generate a lot of income. Because hapa hakuna mawe. So you can see for Gor Mahia teams when they're really facing each other, wanna destroy stadiums, wanna destroy vitu, and ina affect the crowd. Pulling in the crowd inakuwa ngumu. But for high schoolers, it is really lenient. They are composed. Hata kama hawiko that composed, hakutakuwa na mawe kama ni ya Gor Mahia. I think if Gor Mahia really change the behaviors, it will pull in the mass and the crowd that they need to sustain the football. I believe in Kakamega will win or Kisumude because they'll be the one facing out. But I know it's hard. My favorite team, it's hard to choose a favorite from both of them. But let us see what will pan out.
Alright, that is in terms of football, of course. The likes of Kisumude. I think Kisumude walinyoroshwa na Gorosare, and I think they'll be the one representing the Nyanza region in the games. But then again, of course, without a doubt, over 100 participants will be featuring there in the different games that that will include along I think seven disciplines, if I'm not wrong. That is 7 categories, because I saw the volleyball there, the netballs there, there's rugby there. The likes of St. Mary's Yala, who are big powerhouse of the sport, will be looking to progress. And remember, after the nationals, that is in Kakamega, all roads will be leading to the regionals. I believe that is in Rwanda. Yes, that is in Rwanda. And just like you said earlier, this is a big pool of talents for scouts to come and source raw talent and help generally the kids to proceed as far as developing their talent is concerned. And of course, once they proceed to the regionals, that is in Rwanda for the East African School Games, I believe Team Kenyans we can get a few wins, because the likes of rugby tumejulikana pale kutandaza watu. The likes of the schools like St. Mary's Yala have been doing us proud for quite some time, and we are really keen to see how they're going to participate. They are going to come out strong in this as far as the national school games is concerned. Now that is just that. Remember, we're done with football sasa, as far as the national scene is concerned, or rather the local scene is concerned. On Friday, Elvis, tunaanza ligi in the EPL, Burnley versus Manchester City. Now Pep Guardiola, facing his former student, that is the head of Burnley, Vincent Kompany, that is the head coach. And kama pattern tumeona ya Mikel Arteta, the student, coming kumnyorosha. Do you believe Burnley are up for a big test, or City is up for a big surprise when they start off on Friday? Remember, on Friday they'll be kicking off, or that is on the 11th of August, Burnley versus Manchester City. Unaona nani anapita na hiyo?
Okay, Burnley, it's a fair team. It's not that strong.
Right.
Man City will win. If they start this very strongly, I'm really hoping Burnley can really thrash Man City.
Right.
But logically and talking logically, Burnley has to be very careful about the defense.
Right.
Because they know the king Haaland is there, but for the defense, for Burnley defense is very poor. But Man City winning, it's evident because Man City right now is on top of the table.
Right.
So focusing on this year, I'm hoping Man City to be thrashed so that Man U can really come in place. Foden,
right.
Foden and Haaland
Grealish.
I think Burnley putting a strong defense on them, and Kevin De Bruyne on the center, he'll be helping to control the game. But if Burnley, please, tafadhali wekeni to defense, let it go 0-0 or 1-0, it will be better. But
right.
For allowing 5 goals to be scored, that will really disappoint. It will really disappoint us.
Okay.
And I hope Man City lose this opportunity so that other teams can really be awake,
right.
and allow Haaland to be stuck in this game. Haaland has been very patient, but probably he'll score 1 or 2 goals. But for scoring 4 or 5 goals, I don't think it will happen. I think Burnley has to put a lot of defense and
right.
really have a very good defense. But Burnley has to be very careful about defense. They have to tackle and let them be careful to avoid red cards and pulling people out and back. I think let them have the experienced players and really avoid penalty, avoid wrong tackles in the box. 45 around 45 centimeters. But if Burnley, they really be careful about defense and they come out 0-0 or 1-0, it will be okay for me.
Alright, well, definitely it is a way to kickstart their Premier League. As far as this season is concerned, remember they are promoted from the Championship to the Premier League. Then of course, having to start the first game versus the champions, it is a big test for them. But then again, they're in good hands. The former captain for Manchester City, that is Vincent Kompany, will be leading his team out against Manchester City on Friday. On Saturday, a lot of action taking place. Arsenal versus Nottingham Forest. Then we have Bournemouth versus West Ham later on. Big games also including Newcastle playing Aston Villa with the likes of Brighton facing New Boys Luton Town, who have also been promoted. In your own opinion, what should you expect with the likes of Arsenal playing against Nottingham Forest and also Newcastle, Aston Villa, not forgetting Luton Town welcoming the likes of being welcomed by Brighton? What do you think kutenda aje hizo games zinakuja?
Thank you very much. I know the Newcastle is a strong team, and also Aston Villa is a strong team.
Right.
But if this time they're not away, Newcastle was number 4 in the last season, and Aston Villa was number 9, if I'm not wrong. Aston Villa was number 9, so they really need to wake up. They have an experienced coach, Aston Villa. He was in Arsenal and now moved into Europa in Sevilla.
He was Sevilla.
Yes, he was a coach there, so he's really experienced. Aston Villa is a strong team. I think doing better can really, if they put in the work, they can really thrash Crystal Palace. Newcastle. For Newcastle, as you saw, Leicester
has moved. Yes.
Leicester has been moved, meaning Newcastle has to be very serious and love it to be very specific. For the defense, for Newcastle, they have a tall tall
defenders.
tall defenders that are very serious. But for Aston Villa, let them agree on defense and let Newcastle get stuck, and probably they will pan out for 1-1 or 1-0.
Right.
I'm really interested for Aston Villa, but for the Newcastle, I'm hoping Aston Villa can crush them. For West Ham,
Right.
I think they will do better because they've won the Europa. They are
Yes, Conference
experienced.
League, yes.
Yes. For the West Ham, they moved to Arsenal Rice, right?
Yes. Declan Rice. Yes.
Yes. So I'm not really worried about that.
Okay.
He knows he's a best player. For example, in Liverpool, there is another person who moved to West Ham to the midfielder. I think he'll help control the game and probably come out with a win.
Right.
For Nottingham Forest, I think they will really thrash Arsenal. Nottingham Forest thrashed Arsenal 2-0 before, but now I'm really hoping they thrash them again.
Yes.
4-0 or 2-4. That is my hope. For Arsenal, I think they'll be very serious, but for Nottingham Forest, I think working on defense, it will help the team.
All right. Then on Sunday, arguably, I believe this will be the most entertaining game of the day. Then we have, because we have Chelsea playing against Liverpool, and it will be a big test for Mauricio Pochettino because his first game of the season, his first game with this new team. He has brought in a lot of players in the squad. Christopher Nkunku is there. We've seen they got rid of Aubameyang. They tried to solidify with Samuel, I believe, from Villarreal up in front. Liverpool side as well, they're reinforcing the midfield sector, bringing in the likes of Slobodsai, the likes of McAllister from Brighton. This is a tough test for each managers. We know nana kishinda between these two sides.
It will depend.
Chelsea is at home. Chelsea
is at home, so that will be a very big determinant. I see that Chelsea has to improve because French is at home. Liverpool, I think it will be a very big improvement for Liverpool. Stanley is there and Aubameyang left, but I think Stanley will gel in with the players. Liverpool is confident too, so Salah is there. Nunes is there.
Right.
There is a new midfielder.
McAllister
is there, and also
Jota
is there. They will help. They are experienced players, so they will help Liverpool. Liverpool are confident. Before they had a poor performance, but I'm not really worried. Mane was a key player, but he moved. But recently with number 12.
Chelsea finished number 12.
Chelsea finishing number 12 last season, and Liverpool has really improved. The recent improvement from Chelsea, I'm just really hoping it will be a serious game because Salah is there, and Chelsea a little bit they're very skeptical. I think it will come out 1-1 or 2-2.
Right.
If they really gel well with the players, it will be a good game,
right.
And it will pound out probably 1-1. I think Liverpool will win, but they have to be very careful. They have to be very careful against Chelsea.
All right,
then come out
so.
Wacha Chelsea kae number 11 kwa table.
Inakubalika. Then on Monday, finalizing the games, will be Manchester United playing at home, welcoming Wolves in their stadium. Of course, the new signings, have been bought in. We saw the unveiling of Rasmus Højlund.
Manu has to win.
Right. Yes, we saw the unveiling of Rasmus Højlund as the new striker that they bought. Do you expect him to start? And do you believe Manchester will win their first game of the night?
I believe the defender
Martinez
yes. And
Shaw Yes.
Shaw. Shaw. And midfielder.
Midfield, yes.
Mount.
Yes.
And
Casemiro.
Casemiro.
Right. Fernandes.
Fernandes. Anthony. And Hoyland there, Rashford is there. So I think they must have to win. I'm in support of this 100%. I think it either 4-2 or 4-0. We are in agreement that Man City will win this game. Manchester will win this game. Wolves wako na players wazuri. They sold from Spain.
Right.
They have brought two new players from Spain, but we are not really worried. Manu Hoyland is there. Hoyland is there, and he has to score. He has to score two, and Rashford two for a clean goal. For a clean goal, it has to be four.
Wonderful. Okay, thank you so much for that. Of course, ladies and gentlemen, be sure to catch up with us on Saturday for more insight on the EPL that is kicking off on Friday with Burnley welcoming Manchester City. What a tough test for Vincent Kompany as his first game in charge of the team. Now we've come to the end of the program. I want to say a massive appreciation to everyone who's made time. What about Manchester United? I can see your comments coming in. We support the fact that you'll be playing against Wolves. Your Man City fans are also confident ahead of Burnley. Arsenal fans also saying Nottingham Forest are Wezi, and they're going to dominate in the first game as well. So of course, EPL starting off this weekend brings in a lot of emotions. But then again, be sure to catch up with us on Saturday. We'll be talking more on that, and we'll be having a guest as well with us to try and help us digress and digest all this together. Now, thank you so much for your time. We've come to the end of the show. You've been with me, Bill Clinton Odhiambo, alongside my sports pundit as well, Elvis Odhiambo. My sign language interpreters have been Gideon Maina as well as Anne Wairimu. Till we meet next time, always remember to keep it Science TV and keep it always 100. Ambia marafiki zenu wote what follow on our socials. That is Science TV on Twitter, Science TV on Instagram, on our YouTube channel as well. It is Science TV. Till we meet next time, have yourself a good week.